Canada.
Hey, Joe, what's the plan for today with the snow? Are you guys going to the stadium or indoors or what?
No, we'll be out in field 3. They've plowed off the snow for us, so it looks like there's still a little bit of residue out there, but we're out there playing in the snow today.
Rock.
Joe, we saw Kadarius practiced a little on Wednesday, didn't go yesterday. What's his status?
Yes, yesterday he couldn't go through practice with us. He remained with the trainers. Plan today is to kind of move him around early in practice and see where that goes. If we think he has a chance of getting more into team drills, which he should have a good about half hour or so before we get to that, we can get him implemented and see if we can get him a chance to play. No decision's been made at this point, but we'll look and see where he is today.
What's his? So he hurt his shoulder in the game. Is that going to require something in the off season, surgery wise, or anything like that?
That's more of a question for the trainers right now. Obviously, we're looking to get him ready for the game. So in terms of what would have to be corrected in the off season, if something was long term, that's really more of a question for Ronnie Barnes.
Hey, Joe.
What's up, Ron?
I figured out the audio finally, but my camera stopped working, so. Joe, obviously this isn't related to the last 5 games when we all know you've had some personnel limitations. The more big picture offense, I remember you saying you wanted to be a flexible, versatile offense. Game by game, you could do different things. Moving forward, Joe, does this offense need more things it can hang its hat on? Like every game, we know we're going to be able to do this, X, Y, Z well.
Well, I'd say it's a pretty general statement, but the answer to that would be yes. In terms of just having staples in your offense, of staple runs, staple pass games, staple themes of how do you want to play. Now, that being said, those same staples have to be flexible in terms of how you have to play each game individually. I'm a firm believer in versatility because, to me, you prepare for the opponent, and you have to make sure that whatever you do, you can take away their strengths and expose their weaknesses. And based on circumstance and situation and different game plans, that may require a different way of attacking them. You want to always be able to be a balanced team. And I talk about being a balanced team of running or passing when you have to and when they know you have to do it. And that's where you want to play. It's not simply about 50-50 run-pass relationship, but you want to be a balanced team. You want to be able to run the ball downhill. That's an aspect of this program that we have to have. That's just the way we've got to play. It's New York Giants. It's got to be a physical running team. In terms of throwing the ball, you want to be an accurate, efficient team who really flows through the quarterback and allows your players to make plays in space and then prioritizes getting the ball in the hands of the playmakers. The quarterback's job is to facilitate the offense. It's also his job at the line of scrimmage to be able to make adjustments or checks within the system as he's prepared to do. I saw Daniel make a lot of improvement throughout the last year and a half up until when he got hurt. That's something that was getting better for us as an offense and that he was able to use to make some productive plays this year. That being said, yeah, the answer is there definitely has to be some things to hang your hat on as far as staples, but you also have to have the flexibility per game plan to play however you have to play that week.
And one other thing, Joe, we've heard a couple of your defensive players say, we know we're a defense-first team. We have to win low-scoring games. Is that your philosophy, or is that's what your team is suited? You have a better defense than you have offense, so you try to win low-scoring games. Like, would it be different if maybe you had different offensive personnel? You could be a high-scoring team, if that makes sense.
Look, my belief is to play complementary football. That's my belief, to have 3 phases that complement each other. And some games will be high-scoring, some games are going to be low-scoring. And that just happens within the flow of a season. You got 17 games in a regular season. They're not all going to be the same. There's always different challenges and different things you have to deal with each week. So, my answer to that would be, my vision is to be a complementary football team, to play good in all 3 phases and to utilize the strengths of each phase to complement the other and take advantage of field position created by the kicking game on both offense and defense and be able to capitalize on field position sustained by the defense and get back to the offense.
Zach.
Hey, Joe, just circle back to Kadarius. More big picture question. How much of a challenge was it this season to really get a chance to develop him and coach him up the way you maybe would have wanted when he's battling all these injuries and stuff like that? Obviously, with rookies, you want to spend as much time with them as you can, but he was pretty banged up this year.
Yeah, you know what? It's with rookies. Obviously, every snap you get is invaluable, and when the time is eliminated due to injuries, that's definitely a challenge. And the reality is, whether it was KT, A-Rob, or Ezra Smith, these are 3 guys that lost a significant amount of time through training camp and at different points this year. I've seen improvement by all 3 of these guys throughout the year. Actually, I just talked to Ellerson a little while ago and was telling him that, he had missed a lot of ball through opting out of his senior year, through not having a true training camp, through being on PUP to start the season. But the important thing was we saw improvement every game going forward, and there's things he has to work on. The valuable thing he can take is the experience, but we have to understand there's a lot of reps these guys have missed. I think A-Rob's another guy who's improved a lot, throughout this year. He's got a great skill set and demeanor. He's a long way from where he's going to be as a player. He's going to be a good player in this league. And it's the same with KT. There's a lot of things he missed the opportunity this year with injuries. I think these are all three intelligent players, guys who go out there and play with the right demeanor, but they've got to gain more experience. And that's true for every rookie in this league, but especially guys who have dealt with injuries in their rookie year.
We got time for 3 quick questions. Jordan Schwartz, Pat Leonard. Jordan.
The follow-up on that real quick, Joe, we saw Ezra Smith went on IR the other day. How serious is that? We see it's a neck injury, and what do you make of his?
I missed the last part of that question, but
what do you make of his rookie year?
Yeah, like I said, he obviously missed a lot of time. I saw a lot of improvement along the way. You can't make up for the lost snaps, right away, but over time he's got to keep developing. The important thing for these rookies going from year 1 to year 2 is really make a physical jump, and their bodies have to continue to change and adapt to the demands of the league. From year 2 to year 3, the important jump is really production-based. But going back on Ellerson, obviously he wouldn't be able to play this week. That's why he went on to IR to clear available spaces if we need them for different reasons. As far as a long-term concern, from everything we've been told by the medical team and the trainers, this would not be a long-term concern at all. But it would limit them both, this week and probably next week for playing as well, at least.
Schwartz.
Hey, Joe. A couple of quick ones about Daniel. I mean, obviously
One quick one, Schwartz.
One quick one. 2 parts. Quickly, Joe. With Daniel, he's on IR. Obviously, do you keep on getting updates and about any progress he's making, and the fact that he hasn't been here for the last 5 games, it almost make you appreciate even more what he can do for your team, considering what's happened to the offense without him?
Well, I appreciate all of our players who come to work every day and put it on the line, Paul, first off. And I didn't need to lose Daniel to appreciate him. So the answer is yes, I do appreciate him, but not because of something I haven't had with Daniel. I appreciate him more for what he does every day in the building, of how he comes to work and puts the team first. In terms of the medical question to that, Paul, the answer is yes, I do get updates on where he's at. And then, as I said yesterday in the press conference to the guys on the patio, that the updates of the frequency of imaging and things of that nature, those updates decrease a little bit. And in terms of, the amount and quantity and frequency of those images, they obviously decrease once you're removed from, playing status and put on IR. But we do talk about our players all the time. I wouldn't say it's a daily update on Daniel at this point, but it is, we talk at least once a week about how he's doing. I talk to Daniel on a regular basis about how he's feeling. Obviously, it's a guy who wants to be out there with the team. It's a guy that, really wants to be out there and breaking the huddle himself, but he's here supporting his teammates when he can't do that.
Last one here, Pat Leonard.
Joe, has this been a especially tumultuous week for you? And, do you feel any particular pressure going into this game?
No, my focus is on playing Washington. That's it. We talk all the time about ignoring the noise. And, look, to be completely honest with you, whatever's going on outside this building, a lot of times I have no idea about. I tell you all the time that Pat Hanlon and a couple other people close to me kind of keep me, up to speed on what's going on outside this building, and more so that I know that how things may be affecting our players. But in terms of this week in itself, no, I'm concerned about getting our players ready to go. We've had great energy at practice. We get an opportunity to go out there today. One more practice as a team. We get to play in the snow and have some fun. We're going to go out there and embrace this opportunity, and not look back and say, wish we had done it differently.